coach, yoga teacher, Reiki master. I'm a certified reflexologist, and I am here today to talk to you about one of the things that I do called Yoga Nidra, which is an ancient meditation technique. So the benefits of Yoga Nidra have the same benefits as your traditional meditation, plus more, because it brings you into a very deeply relaxed state where you can pretty much take your mind out of the equation. And we know that the mind is what causes all the problems in the first place. So that when the mind is out of the equation, you can rest, the body can heal itself, and through the use of intention, you can address the things that are causing you problems in your life from a deep state of consciousness, so that they get received from that place rather than the blockages of the mind. We use progressive muscle relaxation technique, which induces the relaxation response in the body. My background is with children, so although I love to facilitate Yoga Nidra for adults, I have a passion for sharing Yoga Nidra with children work. Specifically, I worked with children with severe emotional disabilities. And what happens with those children is they can't get out of the cycle of thoughts that they have that are causing these behavior issues. So what I found was that through the practice of Yoga Nidra, they can easily come out of those thought patterns and rest back in a place where they're disengaged from all of those thought patterns that cause them to act out and have so much difficulty in their lives. Yoga Nidra gives these children an opportunity to find peace where they can't find it in their daily lives. There are many benefits from Yoga Nidra, and kids have stress just like adults have stress, only it's a different kind of stress. So the kids aren't worrying about their jobs or how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage, but they do have a lot of other things that they worry about. So one of the benefits of Yoga Nidra is to reduce the stress level, and when the stress level is reduced, then the behavior changes, because there's not the need to act out, or there's not the need for attention, and there's not the need for all of those things to happen. So a lot of kids that are labeled with ADHD or hyperactivity and or just other kinds of behavior disorders, it is quite possible that through the practice of Yoga Nidra, those labels will fall away. It will help facilitate clear thinking for them. It reduces impulsivity. It helps them learn not to react, not to act out so much, teaches better self-awareness, and it encourages them just to be themselves rather than having to try to prove something to somebody. The beauty of it is that it can be customized towards any age group and any situation that you want to address. The age groups usually go from like 5 to 8 and 8 to 10, 12. And then 12 and up, depending on the maturity of the child, they can do it as adults do it. In all cases, especially with adolescent or pre-teenagers, your focus is going to be different with a preteen than it is going to be with a 5-year-old, and it's going to be different with a 5-year-old girl than it is with a 5-year-old boy. Any behavior that you want to address, it can be tailored towards that specific issue. So through the practice of Yoga Nidra, the kids can actually do better, or there's been many studies where they've done better in their schoolwork because their concentration level is better and their focus is better and their self-esteem is better and their general stress is better. So there have been many studies showing that when students or children or people are more relaxed, then their performance is better in whatever they're doing, whether it's schoolwork or regular work or whatever it is. So it really is a wonderful tool for kids do better in their school. Another benefit of the practice of Yoga Nidra, especially for children, is that it helps them better be in touch with their emotions and their feelings. And when they're doing it in this safe, relaxed state of consciousness, they can actually begin to see shifts in energy and feel those shifts, because when energy moves, then things happen and emotions get released, and through the process of the emotions getting released, that can be discussed and addressed with the child while it's happening, so that they understand what is happening to them. It doesn't really even matter why it's happening to them, but that can be explained as well. But when something is released, then it can be addressed right then and there, so it doesn't have to be acted out in an inappropriate way. It can be released in an appropriate way. The parents' involvement is always a good idea in anything that their children are doing, but I don't have the parents do the Yoga Nidra practice with their children when I'm working with the child privately. It's quite possible that we could do it as a group of parents and children, and with a generalized Yoga Nidra with a generalized intention. And that would be it would be a great experience for parents and children to do together, because of the benefits for both. But when working privately with the child, I don't have the parents in on the session. However, I would discuss with them both before and after anything that would be important for them to know, and always encourage the parents to also practice Yoga Nidra separate from their child. It just gives both the parent and the child a better space in which they can interact with each other and help. Most of the time, the children that come to me for Yoga Nidra are mostly because they have some sort of stress or anxiety. And the anxiety, depending on the age of the child, differs, but the common thread is anxiety about whatever it is in life. That seems to be a very common thread with adults as well as children. It's just general anxiety and stress in children and adults. So it's huge stress now, what it does physically, mentally, and emotionally to us. And Yoga Nidra is a tool to use to combat the stress and the anxiety and address whatever other issues that people have because of the stress of their life. So it basically allows you to react in a different way in your life, because you can't change the stress outside. You only can change your reaction or your response to the stress. So it's really your relationship to the anxiety or to the stress changes. It's not the situation that caused it. That isn't changing, but it's you that's changing. Some of the children that I've worked with, one child who was 11, he had separation anxiety, and Yoga Nidra helped him tremendously with that. I had a 5-year-old who couldn't sleep. She was afraid of the dark, and Yoga Nidra helped her. And I had a very good friend of mine's son. He had a brain tumor, and he was 9 when he was diagnosed, and he went through years of issues with this brain tumor, many surgeries, and I practiced Yoga Nidra with him, and that helped him. He was afraid of when they take your blood, and so I would go with him when they were going to take the blood, and I would do the whole meditation in the lab where they were taking his blood. So it can be applied in many different arenas. I worked with a young man who was just starting out in his career. I think he was maybe 19 or 20, and he had lots of social anxiety, and the Yoga Nidra helped him in that time of his life. So it can be applied to any age and any situation. We all know who Michael Phelps is. Michael Phelps had an amazing coach, apparently, and mother that recognized the importance of relaxation and visualization. So he was trained to relax his body through a systematic approach of relaxing his body, and then a systematic approach of visualization to get to his goals, and obviously it worked. So Yoga Nidra is a lot like the practices that Michael Phelps used, only more actually. When the body is totally relaxed, then it can receive the visualizations very clearly. And when the visualizations are clear, then they come to fruition in waking consciousness. What you think that you can do, you can do. So visualization and thinking definitely is a big part of the practice of Yoga Nidra and the practice of many successful people, not just athletes, but successful businessmen and successful, successful people in general use those techniques. So with Yoga Nidra, we use intention rather than a goal. So Michael Phelps had a goal, but a goal is finite, and intention is just the direction in which you want your life to go. So you're always going in that way, and if you fall a little bit to one side or the other, you haven't failed. You just keep following the intention. Whereas a goal, if you didn't reach the goal, then the mind says that you failed. And if you failed, then obviously you didn't, it didn't happen what you wanted to happen. So we like to use intention rather than a goal, because there's no way that you can fail with an intention. I would encourage everyone to learn how to use the tool of Yoga Nidra to help better deal with life in general, no matter what your life is. And you know what? Even good stress is still stress, and your body doesn't really know the difference between good stress and bad stress. So when you have a tool such as Yoga Nidra to help deal with that stress, and you can manage your life in a more relaxed, easy, calm way. So I think because Yoga Nidra has changed my life so much, it gives me such satisfaction, and I'm so grateful to be able to share it with everyone, basically, but especially children, because children hold a special place in my heart. They are so impulsive, and they are so caught up in their own behavior that it's not a conscious choice that they're making. That is the way that they're acting because of chemical stuff that's going on in their brain. So when they realize that they can get into a state where they can rest, where they can automatically become calm, not something that they chose to do either, but they see that it's possible,